If you spend any time looking at a screen, you know the drill. You lie in a dark room, swiping through an endless feed of terrifying, heavy headlines, waiting to fall asleep. But occasionally, a story breaks through the gloom that is so entirely ridiculous, it forces you to stop scrolling. Take the case of a rare albino buffalo recently born in Bangladesh. This particular buffalo was born with a very distinctive feature, a prominent tuft of blonde hair on the top of its head. Because of the resemblance, the farmers named it after the 45th U.S. president. That name actually served as a kind of diplomatic immunity. When the Eid al-Adha festival arrived, authorities decided the political implications of sacrificing the animal were too risky. The buffalo was spared and sent to the National Zoo, where it gets pampered as a local celebrity. When you read a headline like that, it feels like the code running our reality is starting to fray. So we're going on a quick trip around the globe to track down the glitches. From Bangladesh to Brooklyn, these stories are appearing with such frequency that they're starting to compete with traditional headlines. The bizarre and the comedic aren't just interruptions anymore, they're becoming the main events. We start in India, at one of the most serene, tightly controlled, and heavily photographed monuments on Earth, or at least it usually is. A punishing heatwave drove the local macaque monkeys to seek relief, and they entirely commandeered the ancient formal fountains, turning them into a public water park. While the local wildlife is acting out of line in human spaces, a massive group of young humans in the capital has decided to adopt the identities of actual pests. In New Delhi, the Jantar Mantar Observatory has a long history as the staging ground for serious, high-stakes civic protests. Recently, millions of students gathered there, outraged over massive irregularities in their national exams. During the fallout, an Indian judge used the word cockroaches to insult the critics. In response, a 26-year-old student flew back from the US and officially founded the Cockroach Janta Party. The CJP's Instagram now has 22 million followers, all adopting the cockroach as a badge of endurance. These students are currently using that massive digital audience to demand the resignation of the education minister within 7 days. Speaking of actual cockroaches, Australian border authorities recently uncovered a massive criminal operation dedicated entirely to hoarding them. This chart shows the scale of the bust. Officials seized over 100,000 illegal live cockroaches, dwarfing standard intercepts. Network maps reveal a single breeder funneled these imports into a lucrative black market, selling them as premium reptile food. Australia might have underground insect rings, but the United States has fully authorized civic programs that easily rival them in weirdness. If you walk into certain public libraries from California to New Jersey right now, you will find fully costumed, masked athletes body slamming each other right next to the reference desk. It's a literacy initiative called Lucha Libro. To keep the public engaged, local libraries are actively replacing quiet study hours with high-energy, full-contact sports. Adults in New Zealand have found their own way to completely abandon normal societal expectations. Every year, the rural town of Oamaru leans into an intense, rusted science fiction aesthetic, hosting thousands of people for a multi-day steampunk festival. The highlight of the event involves mounting highly decorated, steam-emitting metal teapots onto remote-controlled chassis and watching them frantically race across a hard floor. But there is a wide gap between organized, joyful weekend weirdness and the absolute collapse of public decorum on a Tuesday morning. At an international airport, an Argentinian woman recently tried to sneak onto a flight without paying the boarding fee. When security caught her, she skipped the argument completely and went straight to biting the officer. These events suggest that real life is currently more unpredictable than any fiction. If you're tired of the doom scroll, the rest of the world is providing a much more interesting show.